Hello Reels and welcome back to Happy Blonde. I filmed an intro and an outro for this video, but the wind just honestly didn't help me, so this is my second attempt. So as you guys guessed in the title of this video, I really want to dive more into character mannerisms on my channel. I used to cover character mannerisms at the Academy. If you guys don't know, I am the owner of a character entertainment training academy called Happy Blonde's Princess Training Academy, where it's an online platform where I teach royals how to interpret characters successfully. However, I have shifted my content just a little bit, and I want to offer mannerism videos right here on my YouTube channel, and then more in-depth character work over at the Academy. And today, I want to tackle the basic mannerisms tutorial for voice and just tips that I learned when I interpreted Rosetta. Hi, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shirley, better known as Happy Blonde on social media. I am a party princess, content creator, performance coach, and the proud owner of the character entertainment company, Pixie Dusted. Before I give you my latest tips, go ahead and learn Rosetta's mannerisms. I just came out of my first ever Rosetta party. I have had Tinkerbell parties before. However, Rosetta was a little bit different, and we were a little bit skeptical about how it was going to be. We did have kids from different ages, so all of the information that I'm going to be giving you pertains to children from all different ages. Starting off, if you have little wings like me that are on a strap, the best thing that you can do with Rosetta is just keep the hair forward. Naturally, her hair falls forward, so honestly, this was a lifesaver because it never really showed, kids never really asked, and again, it's good to maintain the figure of the character. Now, in terms of personality, very fast, Rosetta is the equivalent in Pixie Hollow to Lottie. So she is very coquette, she is very chic, she is pristine, fashion is everything, even though it's not her talent. So keep that in mind whenever you are putting her energy forward, because some people may portray her as a little bit bitchier, but she's not. That's the thing. She's still a very nice person. Moving on with mannerisms, as you guys like to know, I like to tilt my head just the tiniest bit with mannerisms. If you look straight forward, it looks weird. And besides, in my case, I have a flower on the back. So having the flower on the back means that I like to tilt slightly so that is noticeable right then and there, and it just looks a whole lot cuter. So I like to tilt my head towards the side, maybe diagonally down with Rosetta. In terms of my shoulders, it's very important to keep your shoulders relaxed because obviously your wings are going to fall on your shoulders sometimes. So keeping those shoulders relaxed, if you are going to be using them for mannerisms, slightly raise them, but Rosetta's not really a shoulder raising kind of character. I don't really see her doing that as much. She does play a lot with her hands, but before going to her hands, again, torso, we're gonna keep it very straight. And if you want, arch it a little bit. The more that you arch your torso, your wings are gonna start creating a little bit more dimension, specifically if you have the wired wings. They're gonna look very cute whenever you stand to the side. So it's not the same to do like this or to just stand like so than to just stand like so. You look a lot more put together and it looks a lot more magical. In terms of hands, Rosetta's hands are a mixture of, again, Charlotte LaBeouf's hands and a classic princess, not necessarily Cinderella. Classic in the sense that she does pertain to the hands that lie here. I like keeping her hands here or on the bottom, kind of like Ariel. These ones are a must for her because it looks like you're about to take off and fly. However, she does have a lot of these kinds of like chic hands. Very nice poses for her. Again, whenever she is waving hello, I do like to wave hello just like so, and maybe say your name like, hello, my name's Rosetta, and just flop it right back here. Notice that the shoulders come in, but not as much. Flopping the shoulders right over here, or maybe if you are excited, if you want to pose for a picture, this one is a really cute one for her to do. There are a lot of poses for her that do that as well. But most of all, and this pertains to all fairies are very big on like hands. So very high up hands, and twirling in the air and doing the magic. In the sense of Rosetta, her magic comes more down up because of the way that she lifts petals. Silver Mist is a lot different. Iridescence is a lot different. Iridescence's magic comes from above because of the sunlight. Rosetta's magic comes from the bottom because you're working plants from the bottom up. So whenever you are doing her magic, keep that in mind. And in terms of foot placement, fairies are one of those characters that you can actually point to the side. Rosetta is indeed a pointer to the side, but they can also come here. Notice that Tinkerbell does have a tendency to stand like so. In the case of Rosetta, I like to just bend this foot just a little bit, pull up one hand on the side, and then just leave the other one on the bottom. That is going to give you the perfect Rosetta figure because, again, she's fun. It's an easy pose that you can get out of, and it's an easy pose if you are about to fly up or that you need to move or waddle around. It's going to be really, really simple for you to move with that pose. And again, this is a very comfortable position for you to also shift to other different posings and with the other characters as well to differentiate Rosetta whenever she's with the entire lineup. Okay, so what are my main tips to portray Rosetta flawlessly? Because there is not really a lot of research in terms of the fairies when it comes to Disney Parks videos. Whenever these fairies were released, they kind of like merged all of their personalities together. Clearly the reason why I am making this video. But very, very important to, number one, watch the movies, research about it. Rosetta's personality kind of stands out the most in between all of the group of friends. But if there's one thing that she's very distinguished by, it's her accent. Rosetta has a southern accent, so talking like this, it's not really gonna work. So again, watch movies. That's what I do. I watch movies, I listen to her, and then I start repeating the phrases over and over until I do sound like her. And at the end, you have a mixture of the typical Rosetta Southern accent, which is the honeydew, we're not gonna last more than one event. If I'm gonna look bad, I'm not gonna look bad. You know what I mean? And that's precisely how you do get Rosetta's Southern accent. Okay, and we are back. So I want to cover just final tips and details that I learned when I interpreted Rosetta. So one of the things that I quickly noticed when I was researching for Rosetta is what I mentioned. There is not really a lot of character-specific Disney Fairies videos on YouTube or just on social media in general. So getting to know the Disney Fairies is something a little bit tricky. So I do have a reel on my Instagram where I explain the resources that I like to use in order to get to know more Pixie Hollow and where it is that they live. At the Academy, I have an even more in-depth course about Pixie Hollow, but I also have this book, which is my creation, which is Once Upon a Story. It features a ton of character story ideas and research that you can use. And guess what? I do have the Disney Fairies in here. For example, one of the kids at the party did ask me one of the questions that I do have here. I do have some tough questions and just pre-made answers that you can use or feel inspired by. And a kid asked me why I didn't like mud. And this was very near to my answer, and it is that I am not excited about messes, and mud can end up being messy. Not wanting to get dirty just means I like clean and polished things, and I went ahead and started talking about how my favorite task as a garden fairy is helping the little flowers sprout. And that just deviated the conversation a whole different way. So this is available on my website for purchase. Another thing that I noticed about Rosetta is that obviously, since there are not really a ton of videos about her, there is no set and specific character makeup, and this depends on the outfit that she's wearing. Let me explain just a bit. When Disney created Rosetta, she at first had these light pink, guava, reddish tones, and those are the same tones that Angel Secret's costume has. However, there are some companies like myself and a bunch of others that premiered the Disney Fairies with outfit variations. And for example, in my case, my skirt is a lot more inspired by the tones and colors that she wears in the third Tinkerbell movie, which is The Great Fairy Rescue, because it's a lot pinkier. If that is the case for you, there are 3 makeup variations that you can use in order to successfully match your makeup to your Rosetta costume. And I'm gonna use this palette as an example. So if you have a fully pink outfit, no guava tones, it's literally light and dark pinks, you can stick with Aurora-like colors for Rosetta's makeup. If your outfit is a lot more red, kind of like the Angel Secret one where the guava tones are a lot more potent, you can actually stick with this kind of reddish tone. It's a very dark guava. The camera's just not picking it up. And stay with the lid in a more champagne tone. So champagne with guava, there it is. It's gonna be a very nice combination for her as well. However, if you have an outfit like mine that it is entirely custom made and you have a mixture of both colors, in my case, my top is a very, very light pink that can deviate from the guava tones, but my skirt is a lot deeper pink that falls in between these two categories actually. The colors that I used are this one and this one. It's kind of like a mixture. In this case, this tone is a darker one than this one. And I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but it's kind of like, I like to call it like a pinky nude, a dark pinky nude. So this is the shade that I used for my crease, and I combined it with this one, which is the one that I used for my lid. Now, to get that pixie dust all over, I did use the Soul Body Shimmering Dry Oil. This is from ColourPop as well. By the way, this one is also from ColourPop. It is a very nice shimmer oil, and you spread this literally all over, and whenever kids ask about your magic or flying, because they will, you can easily just tell them that you ran out of pixie dust to fly, but you still have a little bit left on your body, which is how you got here in the first place, and you can show them the traces of pixie dust glitter. Anywho's, those are my top tips for interpreting Rosetta. I truly hope that this video was educational for you and it helps you in your future fairy endeavors. If you have any questions, message me over on my Instagram at happy.blonde.s. Happy Blonde signing off, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!